What's up, Mercs? It's Joe here with a Skyrim mod update for episode 7. This time around I have one new mod called SmartCast. What this mod allows me to do is easily cast Candlelight and auto-cast spells like Oak Flesh or Static Skin. So, for instance, instead of selecting Candlelight like this, putting out, casting it, and doing that every single minute, because Candlelight only lasts for about 60 seconds, every single minute we're inside of a dungeon, instead I can just click 8, and it automatically casts Candlelight over and over again as much as I want until, of course, I run out of Magicka. Now, how does this work? Well, let's go into the mod configuration so I can explain it a little bit better. When you install this mod, you get two menus, Spellcast or SmartCast Config and SmartCast Spells. If we go into the config, there is something called Spell Rings. What you can do here is set up a spell to associate with a spell ring. I've done that to Candlelight. You just click on it, select the spell you want, and it adds a ring into your inventory. Basically, now what you can do is favorite this ring, which it's not really a ring, it's actually classified as other, so it doesn't take up a ring slot or anything like this, and when you use this, it automatically unequips the ring itself. So really, it's just kind of like a placeholder item to use, but it's not a ring, it's just an easy hotkey for a certain spell. So you favorite this, you go into your favorites menu and you hotkey it to, for instance, I have it hotkeyed to 8, and then you click the corresponding hotkey and easily cast it. It's a lot better than having to reselect Candlelight every single time you want to cast it in the middle of dungeons. It cuts down on the tedium quite a bit. Now the other thing I have is auto casting. So if we go back to mod configuration and go to SmartCast Spells, we can go and check. We have 2 spells currently that are set to auto cast. So if I go to Static Skin, basically, what I did was I selected the spell I want, which was, of course, Static Skin, and I set up rules for it. So anytime we are in combat, no matter what the sneaking state is, no matter what weapon I have drawn, no matter what my health is, as long as my Magicka is greater than 50%, and no matter what my stamina is, Static Skin will automatically cast. Now the same goes for Oak Flesh. Basically, what this means is every single time I enter combat, as long as my Magicka is greater than 50%, Oak Flesh and Static Skin will auto-cast on me, and the reason I have this is because there are so many times I forget to actually utilize spells like this, utilize buffs, and this trains your alteration, this gives you an edge in combat, obviously, because it's a self-buff, and I want to actually take advantage of the self-buffs that I've learned as a character, as Ralamus. I need Ralamus to actually take advantage of these, and with my forgetfulness, I never actually use them. Now, with AutoCast, I can use them in every single fight as long as I have the Magicka to do so. So if you guys are a mage out there and you're starting a new character, or even if you're a late game character and you don't have SmartCast, I highly recommend it, even if it's just to get Candlelight auto-casted, or whatever you want. You know, you can do things I can think of off the top of my head. You can do Open Lock, hell, you can do really any spell. You can do Lightning Bolt, Lightning Rune, anything really. I mean, the continuous spells get a little bit wonky with it, but you can really do any spell. Now, I'm not going to do it for any offensive spells, because I feel offensive spells need the casting time to balance them out. I think if I just spammed, like, Lightning Bolt over and over again, like, extremely fast with no casting time, obviously, that would be taking advantage of the system. But with Candlelight, it doesn't really matter. It's just a spell that I use out of combat. It has no influence on combat itself, unless you argue, you know, lighting and all that, but really, it doesn't have that much influence on it. And Oak Flesh and Static Skin, I would cast both those anyway right before combat. It's not like, oh, I'm in combat and I have to cast it right in the middle. It's usually right before I get into combat, before I even get up to the enemy. So really, it doesn't take away a casting time that otherwise I would have to tactically implant into the battle. You know, I'd have to run away and then cast it. No, I would cast it before I even got to the enemy. Or before the enemy got to me, rather, because I'm a ranged character. So, there's one more thing that this mod does, and if we go to SmartCast Config, we will see it. That is spell combos. Right now, I'm not taking advantage of these, but in the future, I might, because right now, my Magicka levels, or my Magicka total isn't very high. So what you can do here is you can add 3 different spells, say Crackle, Lightning Bolt, and Fireball. You can add those 3 spells to a combo spell. The combo spell will add to your spellbook, and you can cast all 3 of those spells at once. You'll see down here it does total your Magicka cost for the 3 spells, so you're not kind of like using 3 spells for the price of 1. You're using 3 spells for the casting of 1, but for the price of all 3. It's just a faster way to use a lot of spells at once, and it's really devastating if you have like 2 combo spells in each hand, or well, one combo spell in each hand. But honestly, like I said, I probably won't use this early game because I just don't have the magic to do so. Late game, though, combo spells might be an extremely viable method of dealing with enemies. I'm not sure if I'll ever use it. I might. We'll have to see down the road. So anyway, guys, I want to apologize if my voice sounds weird. I was talking all day, and it's very crackly today. I'm losing my voice because I've been talking so much. But, yes, I hope you enjoyed this mod update, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.